Hi again, everybody. It is Tuesday. It is a big week this week, and not only because you have the National Football League playoffs starting, the college football playoffs. It's a big week because any week that you get to have is a big week. And anytime you get to have the big man, Ralph Petrello, with you on a Tuesday, it is a big day. And we are talking, Ralph, as you know, if you're a regular on the 9-minute Phill-Up, and if you're not, we're going to tell you what he does. But one of the things that he does is he runs Cinna, which you get the Blue Wave 24-hour fitness over in Follinsby. And if you want to go and get fit and do all those things, anything and everything you want to do, you can do it there. And Ralph will lead the way for you. And one of the things that I thought of the other day was, you hear about, it was Personal Trainers Day on the 2nd of January.
Yeah, you called me and told me Happy Personal Trainer Day.
I said Happy Personal Trainer Day, and you said, well, why didn't you call me earlier? And I said, well, there you go. Try to push me further, quicker. And the reason it was National Trainer Day or Appreciation Day was the fact that by now people are starting to already lose their resolutions.
At some people.
Not everybody, but some people. If you're smart, don't make a really hard resolution.
We'll talk about that.
So, anyways, what I wanted to do is have an expert come in and put us into a mindset of what do we need to do if we do have a resolution. Maybe somebody out there is, I'm going to lose 10 pounds, or I'm going to lose 20 pounds, or I'm going to walk every day, or I'm going to go to the gym every day. What can I do? How can they make that happen? But before we do that, welcome.
Hey, thanks for having me, Bill.
Yeah, always a pleasure to have you here. Yeah.
We always have a lot of fun.
Absolutely. And of course, producer extraordinaire, Jordan is here. She's running the show. We'll hear her dulcet tones, her voice a little bit later if we have some comments that come in. So, Valley Converting. Just have to thank Mike and the crew up at Valley Converting in T-Town, the gem city of Toronto. And if you have paper products, maybe some medical papers you don't want anyone to see, maybe some tax situations you don't want anyone to see, maybe some court filings you don't want anyone to see. I told Mike that one day that I mentioned that. He goes, why do you make it sound like we're hiding stuff? I said, no, you throw it in the beater and it turns into pulp. So anyways, let's hear from Valley Converting now.
Every piece of paper has a story. What if that story didn't end when you were done with it?
At Valley Converting, we turn your old paper products into recycled paperboard, continuing the story.
Locally owned and operated in Toronto, Ohio, bringing your paper to Valley Converting isn't just about recycling.
It's about supporting a cleaner, greener future for all of us.
We are here 5 days a week to help you make some green by going green.
And remember,
recycle for your future.
All right, again, can't thank Valley Converting enough for all that they do for the 9-minute Phill-Up. Bill Phillips here, along with Ralph Petrello, owner of Cinna in Follinsby. Also, part owner out in Cambridge, Cambridge Wellness Co-op out there as well. And he's here. We're talking resolutions. We're talking fitness. And it's one of those things, Ralph, you probably get this all the time over the course of your career. All right, want to get started. First of the year, I made a resolution. Someone comes into the gym, you sign them up. You go through what to get people ready to go when they come into the gym.
So the first thing we do is we talk about goals, right? Mm-hmm. Especially resolutionists. So if you want to set a resolution, the key is to start small. Make it, like you said, make it obtainable. So my New Year's resolution and my goal this year is 300 days of movement with 15 or more minutes. That's it. Okay. So 15 minutes, it averages of movement. It averages out to like 6.2 days a week, right? And that's just movement. It can be yoga, walking, it can be weightlifting, it can be cardio, it can be med ball slams, it can be really whatever.
Grandpa get-ups.
Grandpa get-ups are great.
Yeah.
But it has to be just 15 minutes. 15 minutes, 300 days this year. I've hit every day this year so far in the 7 days we've been here.
That's outstanding.
It has. And again, start small, start slow, right? So if you're new to exercise, 15 minutes of walking, 15 minutes of stair climbing, 15 minutes of just steady state cardiovascular training is really all you need to get started. And then incorporating some weight training, incorporating maybe some med ball things, some kettlebell movements, stuff like that. And then building on that into something a little bit more high intensity based.
And I would imagine, just sitting here listening to you, if you miss a day, it's not the end of the world.
No.
You know, and I think that's what some people make unattainable. Well, I'm gonna exercise every day of the year. That's not necessarily a good thing.
Not attainable.
Yeah, I mean, so it's kind of, well, I missed a day, so I scrapped the whole idea.
So I like to think 3 days a week is great, right, for somebody starting out.
Yeah.
And 60% good nutrition, whole foods, real foods that you have grown or seen walking. 60% and 3 days a week. That's how you start, right?
Okay.
And then it goes to 4 days a week and 70%, and you just incrementally make changes in your lifestyle. If you go all or nothing, that works for some people.
Yeah.
Very few people all or nothing works for.
So is it a good idea to maybe, when someone comes in, if they want to have, especially a weight loss goal, okay, you can step on the scale, but maybe take a picture. You know, I may have done that with you at one point where you went, all right, up against the wall, take a picture, and now the picture of that bill is a lot bigger than the picture of a picture you would get now. So is that a motivational factor for people that come into can that be a tool that you use to help people with?
Absolutely. So tools and toolbox, that is a great tool. A lot of times we tell clients, hey, don't look at the scale. Like the scale can be a complete liar. It could say that you haven't lost any weight, but maybe you've dropped 2 belt sizes. Maybe you've dropped the pant size. The thing is, muscle weighs more than fat. Fat has more volume, muscle has more density. So as you exercise inherently, even if you just walk on the treadmill, your body has to carry your weight. So it's going to produce more muscle to achieve that task. So you might be losing fat, gaining muscle, and that scale not move at all. So utilize, just like you said, the pictures are a great tool. Your clothing, jeans. I always do the jean test. If my jeans are fitting a little tight, okay, I need to check my nutrition. If I'm losing belt loops in my belt, if my clothes aren't fitting, if my tie is loose, then those are great monikers or markers to be able to check your progress versus a scale. We really don't like scales at Phill-Up. We believe that number is not indicative of who you are. And again, there's other tools. And we use some more scientific based tools to measure. As you know, we do body composition, lean mass to fat mass ratios and hydration, things like that. A little bit more scientifically than just, hey, you look a little leaner, because we do want some quantifiable data to back up our results.
All right. So let's say someone comes in and they're unsure of what they want to do or what their goal is. How can you lead them? You know, because there might be somebody out there right now that's thinking, I can get to Follinsby. I can get to Cinna. He's making a lot of sense. But they come in and I'm not really sure what I want. I want to get fitter, maybe lose a couple pounds, but they don't really have a direction as to what they want to do or how they want to do it. How do you sit down with them and figure out how to do a plan? And I know I'm giving you a hypothetical mystery person, but how would you do that?
The first thing, any good trainer, right? There's a lot of quality trainers, and I can't just take all the credit for the area.
Oh, go ahead.
I will. But there are some good people out there that work with the population. But the first thing, any good person, what we do specifically, and I think we do this at the highest level, I will toot my horn.
There you go.
Because we look at a lot of different things. We're going to look at your feet. We're going to look at your ankles and your knees, your hips, how you walk, your ankles collapse in. Because if your ankles collapse in, that's going to put more stress on the inside of your knees, which is going to lead to hip movement imbalances and things like that, right? So the first thing we would do, we're going to talk to you and we're going to find out who you are as a person. We're going to see what you do, right? If you like to hike, if you like to camp, if you like to just sit and read, because even if you're sitting and reading, you're going to be more in this position, right? So we're going to need to do things to open you up to kind of counterbalance that.
Okay.
We're going to ask you what you like to do. Some people hate lifting weights and they have to kind of be like brought into that a little bit, like easily and gradually, but maybe they love med ball work.
Okay.
So we're going to talk to you about what you like to do, because if you hate your workout every day, you're not going to want to show up.
Yeah.
And that's just a pragmatic thing that we have to look at. Then we're going to look at how you move. Are you broken? Do you have imbalances? Because we have to fix that. If we don't address those issues early on, it's going to compound any issues you're having. So if you're having lower back pain, chances are it's because your feet and because your ankles and the disalignment on the chain going up. So those have to be addressed or we're going to hurt you. And then we build you out a long-term plan that changes every 4 weeks to force an adaptation in your body. And then once that adaptation occurs, we want to
How long does that take for an adaptation?
It takes about 4 weeks. So each week has a name, and I'm going to get real sciencey and real nerdy. But the first week is the initiation week. Your body's like, oh, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know if this is exercise or if I'm dying.
Yeah.
The second week is the realization week. All right. You have a little time under your belt, like, oh, I'm supposed to be doing this. So your body kind of adapts. The third week is the transmutation week. And that's
Jordan, transmutation week. I mean, what is that? I don't. Okay.
So what that is the
we're mere TV people, Ralph.
The adaptation. I told you I was going to get nerdy. This is a little bit Bill Nye the Science Guy, right? The transmutation week is when your muscles are a little bit bigger because that's the stimulus. You're a little bit leaner. Right. Your body is made to turn the corner on the changes in which we are forcing upon it. You might get more lactate threshold. You might get more VO2 max depending on what we're doing, right? And the fourth week is the realization week. That adaptation has realized it's actually happened. Or excuse me, the actualization week. The realization week is week 2. I'm sorry. The actualization that has actually occurred. You are physiologically different than when you started 4 weeks ago. And then we do it all again with the next level of your program.
All right. We are here with Ralph Petrella, owner of Cinna in Follinsby, and also owner of the Cambridge Wellness Co-op out in Cambridge, Ohio, which we still we have to make our trip. We had the pizza with Pete, and we have to figure out who has the best pizza. That was a big debate for quite some time.
So I can't take all the credit. I have a amazing business partner, Pete Messer.
He's tremendous.
He is. We work hand in hand.
Yeah.
And he's also a certified athletic trainer, and that's where we have that separation as well as we can work through injuries and things like that. So I would be remiss if I did not bring up Pete because he is such a integral part of everything that we do every day.
All right. Yep. Hold on.
That coffee's good. Yeah.
That is good.
You could also stop by
the grind
and blind us to wellness spa.
Now, can you dunk Oreos in this?
No.
So here's my question. This is actually a prop. This is actually a prop for today because you know me. Now I've worked with Ralph for some time. Had some real good success.
Hey, you've had a lot of success.
We now over the holidays, I wasn't feeling great. I had some days off, so instead of literally going in and
Isabella's home.
Isabella's home from school, it's
Listen, again, we account for your life, right?
Yeah,
just like, hey, do you like this? When Isabella's home, I know I'm not going to see Bill as much because that's his baby girl. I have a daughter.
That's it.
I have a son. I have a daughter. I love them both. Mary Sue's my.
Can I brag?
Yes.
Okay, I bragged to everybody today. How about this, everybody? I don't know where the brain pan comes from. Gotta be mom, I guess. But Isabella, they just started. I think it was their second semester or first year. They just started the program where they have the president's list at Ohio University out in Athens, and you have to have straight A's for the semester for all of your classes, and you get on the president's list. She was on the very first president's list in the entire history of the university. I was through the roof. I was like, they just started. So I said to her, they had never had it before. So I said, somewhere 100 years from now, they're going to turn the first page and there's going to be Isabella Phillips on the first page of the whole thing. Well, see now okay. So anyways, so every semester since then, including this one, and this semester, I was like, Isabella, what are your grades? She goes, I don't know. I'm not worried about this semester. I said, last Christmas you were just beside yourself trying to figure out if you. So she ends up. She wouldn't tell me. She wasn't. I said, can you? Then we got her insurance for. We had to get a car and we'd do an insurance and the whole thing. Get the discount for good student thing. So I said, can you get a transcript? We need to turn it in to the insurance company. Yeah, I'll get to it. So I'm still waiting for this thing. So finally yesterday in the mail, I opened the mail up and I'm like, "What's this from Ohio University? President's List again.
That's right.
Come on." Every semester. So just bragging a little bit. And I was reading the letter to her. I'm sure she had already read it. And I started to read it. I got about halfway through, started crying. Oh, wait a minute, choking.
Not you.
So, no, I'm a rock.
Think about Oreos.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, those are fabulous.
Think about grandpa get-ups.
Oof.
Uh-huh,
yeah, I said grandpa get-ups before. There are people probably out there going, "What in the world are grandpa get-ups?"
Yeah, you want to elaborate?
Sure. So when I first started going to Cinna, and I think I did more talking than I did exercising.
It was mental health work. It's all good.
It was a long time of mental health work. And Coach Danny he said, "Well, Bill, you could be sitting on the couch having chips.
Yep.
But you're here talking, you're moving around a little bit, so worked
your
out.
Knees rolled out on the foam rollers.
Oof, I get some bad knees now. So anyway, so Ralph, he finally said, "All right, let's go. We're gonna get started." He goes, "Get on the floor, lay on the floor like you're a turtle on your shell with your legs and arms up." And I went, "What am I doing?" He goes, "Okay, now get up as quick as you can." And I went, "What do you mean get up as quick as I can?" He goes, "Flip over to the side, push yourself up off one leg, and that is a grandpa get up." And basically the situation is, I have kids. They're young adults. He said, just in case, all of a sudden you have a grandchild at some point,
and you want to play with them,
and you want to play, and can you get off the floor?
And we work with a lot of older adults. Like I have multiple 75-year-olds. I have a couple 80-year-olds. I have an 90-year-old I work with.
Yep.
And the thing is, as you age, excuse me, let's speak proper English. You don't get on the floor.
Yeah.
And you don't get off the floor. And if you happen to end up on the floor, you just stay there. And that's where there's an increase.
You got to get that little button on your chain and push it.
We do make our clients and help them at first, right? If you can't get up and down, we help you. We use bands, we use assistance. But it's important as a life tool to get off the ground and get up. And a lot of times we make it a little bit fun. We'll say, "Hey, don't use your hands."
Yeah.
Don't roll to one side. Try to do it another. Try to find a different way. Because they do excel at that.
Yeah, and the thing is, the first time I had to do them, he made me do about 20 in a row. And
no, you did 5.
25 in a row, and I think I might have cussed at him when I got up. I was not happy. It was like, what is this? And I hadn't been working out. I let everything get away from me. So
it's okay.
So we're back on track.
A couple weeks you did 100.
Yeah.
100.
Yeah.
And that was a big deal. Those are grandpa get-ups are hard.
They are hard.
even for me. I call them different names because I'm not a grandfather.
Yeah.
But yeah, dying. That was a good laugh.
See, now the thing is, we got to get Jordan over to the gym. She doesn't need it. She's in great shape. She's always active and everything, runs and does a big lacrosse player back in the day.
All American, right?
Yeah. Or Ashland University lacrosse player.
That's right.
Oh, and they're having the new women's premier or women's lacrosse league, professional lacrosse league. There's 4 teams. One of them's in Maryland. They're having a big tournament. She's going. She's already got her tickets ready to go.
I have one issue with women's lacrosse.
Okay.
The only issue I have is
be
Jordan,
careful.
I know she'll probably
Jordan's going to come over the desk.
You can't shoot on goal if somebody's in front of you.
Yeah.
Like you have to have a clean shot on goalie. If it's me, defender, goalie, I'm not allowed to take a shot, and that's BS. Like I should be able to juke that dude and hit the shot.
I didn't know that rule.
No, you can like if you do it the right way, you can, but it can be.
That's my only issue.
Okay. My issue is always the stick thing. After everyone scores a goal, they throw their stick down and they measure whether the basket of the stick actually fits the ball and all this. And I'm like, why are we throwing our stick down? It's kind of like the curvature of a hockey stick.
Yeah.
You only have so much. All right. Anyways, now that we've gone off the rails a little bit, but again, so how about this? What do you when you tell people, they come in and they say, I want to get in shape, I want to do this, and they're drinking a coffee,
moderation,
maybe having an Oreo cookie.
A moderation. Again, we talk about percentages. There's no way anybody can be expected to be 100%. That's just not. It's not fair.
It's not possible.
Right? Well, it's not possible. I mean, it could be, but it's just not.
Your life's
fair.
not going to be a lot of fun.
No, and we want enjoyment, right?
So if you want to have an ice cream on a Sunday when you're
do it.
out of sunshine, have an ice cream.
Have an ice cream, but
don't have 4.
But here's the key.
Don't have a sleeve of Oreos.
Yes,
have 2 or 3.
The
5.
Moderation, but plan for that ahead. So we utilize calorie trackers.
Okay.
And I love pizza and I love wings. You know,
I
love wings. You know, I love a great burger. I will track that ahead of time. Like, hey, Thursday, I'm going to put this double patty burger and fries in my calorie tracker. That way I can plan ahead. So I know my breakfast has to be a little bit leaner, right? So I'll have 2 full eggs, 3 yolks to increase my protein. I'll probably cut back on carbohydrates in the morning because I know I'm going to have those fries later on. I'm going to probably make a leaner grilled chicken salad option for lunch, just to account holistically my big picture, right? My whole day's worth of food is where it needs to be. And that's where you can have all those things.
And that's the thing. That if someone's sitting at home, they might have just listened to that and went, 2 or 3 whole eggs, chicken salad, blah, 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 blah. And that's a lot of food. Ralph's a big guy.
But it's not a lot of food.
No, I mean, but you know what I mean, though. Some people are going to listen to that and think, wow, that's a lot of food. And it's not necessarily, it's all, like you said, you got to
proportion, right? And that's where, for Jordan, it might be 1 whole egg and 2 whites. It might look different, but
it might be how much you can eat too. I mean, people just some people don't eat as much.
Yep. But also we undereat in foods that are not calorically dense, right? You take a potato. A whole potato is about 100 calories, right? You take that potato and you turn it into French fries. Now it's 300 calories. You turn that potato into chips. Now it's 1,000 calories, right? So when you just eat a potato, you don't think about potato. You don't think about a potato versus a whole bag of family size Lay's is about the same amount. The caloric difference is literally 1,000 calories more because all the seed oils and preservatives and toxins that they're dumping into our processed foods. And that's my pedestal. Sorry.
Okay. Kill the potato chip industry. Oh yeah. What do we have?
So SC Penguins fans asks,
okay,
what are your thoughts on the carnivore diet?
I think that any extreme fad diet might pose long-term detrimental effects because the complete lack of micronutrients. However, I think in a short-term dosing, moving towards more maybe a whole foods diet, it's a good start, and it's fun. It's fun to just eat ribs and steaks and meat. But is it sustainable for a complete lifestyle forever? No. Depending on who you are and what you do, it might work though for you.
I've heard many times now. It seems like the Mediterranean diet seems to be the one that if you're going to do a diet, it's
the keto diets are what works for you.
Yeah,
what works for you. Paleo is a good diet. Keto can help work. Again, long-term solutions. Long-term solutions are eating fruits, vegetables, natural carbohydrates like potatoes and rices, and meats, eggs, milk, cheese.
So basically you're staying away from the processed stuff.
Yes, absolutely. That's the biggest thing.
Like Oreo cookies, fun but not good for
They're
them.
out.
No, anything processed, especially current processing of food, is going to contain high amounts of seed oil, which are inflammatory, right? So when your body is breaking stuff down and when your body's rebuilding, we want to reduce inflammation, because inflammation is like think of a flare up, right? It's like I get hit, and now my arm is bruised, right?
Okay.
My body has to repair that inflammation before it can start building muscle or losing fat.
Okay.
So when we eat reduced inflammatory foods, we have a higher success rate of being healthier.
From what I understand, soda is a inflammatory food.
It's sugar in general, especially processed white sugar, is extremely inflammatory. When if when available,
Uh-huh.
always try to use honey over sugar. Honey, how
Okay.
it breaks down is a lower glycemic index. It also doesn't activate the same insulin response, and it's not inflammatory. It's actually an anti-inflammatory and antioxidant.
All right, we are here with Ralph Petrella. He's the owner of Cinna, also the owner of the Cambridge Wellness Co-op out in Cambridge with his partner Pete. And Pete does a great job. Pete's been here for the 9-minute Phill-Up as well. Pete, he sent me a picture of his son the other day. I think you got the same. He's a daredevil.
Oh,
it's like 18 months. He's on the table looking around. I'm thinking. I even sent it a daredevil, and
he's the carnivore.
Yeah. Oh, is he?
Leo's a big state guy.
He's a big state.
Big state
there you
guy.
go. Leo the Lion.
Leo
ready
Lion.
to go.
He's a Leo.
Yeah.
Which are the lions? Yeah.
There you go. Jordan.
Yes.
Any other comments?
Yes. Ron says, when some people go from 300 to 150 pounds, more seen done by actors that look unhealthy. Is there a percentage of weight loss that is safer than some extreme changes that go too far?
Oh, that's a great point.
Ron's on it. He's always on the game when he's always ready to go.
A general rule, yes, 1 to 2 pounds a week. And we don't love the scale methodology. If you're talking percentages, maybe 0.5% a month, 1% a month, 2% a month. It's going to vary because sometimes if we have an ocean and we take a bucket out of the ocean, it's going to be less than taking a bucket out of a kiddie pool.
Yeah.
So it kind of varies in how you do, but extreme weight loss can be very detrimental to long-term sustainability.
One of the things, and I've lost some weight, and one of the things that we talked about when I was doing workouts was basically, and I still am, but when I was going down, we would check in. I remember taking a picture.
Yep.
And then we got on the scale once a week just to check in, and there were weeks when down 3, down 5, and you're excited about it. It's like, okay, we're going in the right direction. We're going in the right direction.
And there was a long,
and then all of a sudden we hit a spot, and it was like a month.
Yeah.
And you said, I'm not mad at it. Don't worry about it. You're not going back up.
Nope.
You're staying at the same.
That's the long term.
And then he said, and then Ralph told me, he said, as if he's not sitting right next to me, but he said, if you get to that spot and you stay, and then he goes, you don't want it to just be a rocket ship to the ground, because then you're just going to bounce back up. So,
100%.
And that's what happened. And then after about 3 or 4 weeks, remember we had about a 10-pound loss.
Yep.
And it was kind of like, okay, well, that was kind of irritating that it took that long, but
that's life,
it worked.
Right? You have to work through the plateaus, the sticking points, and you have to own it. That's the biggest thing is I'm
owning this coffee.
You're owning that new weight.
Yeah. And I'm sure the next time you see me in the gym, I'll be owning this coffee as well.
That is a hazelnut English toffee iced latte. And I know the combination might sound like wow, hazelnut and English toffee. It works together really well.
Yeah, Ralph brought one for myself and one for producer extraordinaire Jordan.
Jordan was like, ugh. She looked at it like, ugh.
Well, we were both kind of like, I asked for
that?
a frozen caramel coffee that's got like 18,000 calories in it, and Ralph said, no, that's not going to happen. And he brought this from the grind, right?
You see his face?
Yeah.
Yes, from the grind.
Yeah, and the grind does a great job. You go over and see my man Hunter.
Hunter does a great job.
Hunter's getting it done. Hunter's getting it done.
You could also get a sauna from Mindset to Wellness Spa while you're there.
Yeah, checking with Lynette.
Yep, that's also something that we really, really preach at Senna is taking care of your body, taking care of your mind, taking care of your mentals, because they all play hand in hand. If you're struggling, and you're really fighting some inner battles, exercise really helps.
Like the sauna.
Sauna's great for it. Sauna's great for your mentals.
All right. I just noticed the clock. Jordan, is it really 10:40?
Yeah.
Yes. Well, we're going for a record. Any other comments? Anything else?
SC Penguins fan asked if Ozempic works. He also said he's doing a pescatarian diet.
Pescatarian can be good.
What is that? I don't even know what that is.
Fish. Yeah.
Fish.
Pescatarian. Pescatarian diet can be very good. Just want to make sure that you have responsible sourced fish and try to stay away from
mercury.
Yeah, mercury. Some farm raised fish is kind of gross. Like there's some farm raised tilapia out there that's really toxic.
So make sure you're getting
good fish,
the best fish that you can get.
Ozempic. This is not a question for me.
Okay.
I've been very, very biased because of some family members that Ozempic did not do well for her. It helped them great.
Okay.
So Ozempic is a tool. Ozempic can be very helpful. Ozempic is not a alternative to exercise, diet, and proper nutrition. Ozempic side effects are muscle wasting. You're going to get weaker. You're at a caloric deficit. So the first thing your body's going to do, because you're not eating, yes, it will burn fat, but you're going to burn muscle. For older individuals, that is very detrimental because whilst they might be burning fat, losing muscle for an old person is the most dangerous thing they can do.
Okay. So it could be, let's describe it this way. It could be a tool in a toolbox.
It could be a tool.
But it's not an end all be all.
No. And I think that's where,
and especially for older individuals.
Yeah, and I think that's where we're moving to in our society.
And why is it so dangerous for older individuals?
So when an older individual, even if they're overweight, right, they're going to have calories that feed their muscles. Okay. When they stop eating, yes, they'll lose fat, but their body's also going to consume their muscle, right? Okay. So when an older individual loses muscle mass, they're going to lose stability. And they're going to lose strength for everyday tasks like getting up and down the steps and carrying water in and things like that. Muscle is what keeps us alive because it keeps us safe. It keeps us reduced fall risks. It helps bone density. It helps our heart because our muscles have pumps in them that return blood back to our heart. So when we lose all that, it puts more strain on our heart and puts more strain on our body in general and has severely detrimental effects.
Okay. So we want to keep that muscle, keep moving, and keep lifting. Some people don't want to lift any weights, but it's good to carry weights.
It's got to lift weights.
Yeah. All right, Jordan. Anybody else? I don't want to leave anyone out.
No, he just said thank you, Bill Phillips. You're a pros pro, and that he loves snowfish.
Oh, okay, like it.
Nice. Yeah.
Or he or she. I don't know. Sorry.
Okay. All right. Awesome. Well, we're just trying to find out some information. I learn something new every time I talk to Ralph, and it's one of those things where, again, as we got into the new year, kept hearing stories about making people aware of personal trainers and gyms, and then people, I already quit my resolution. So we had Ralph in today. Talk about resolutions to give you the information that you need to maybe help. Again, his place, Cinna, is over in Follinsby, or Ralph and Pete out in the Cambridge Co-op, Wellness Co-op out in Cambridge, Ohio. And again, if you're not near any of those places, find a gym, go for a walk. Well, if you had one final message for everybody to kind of wrap it up, as we're setting records now on the 9-minute Phill-Up for how long we're going, but just in terms of resolutions, I mean, it's almost like don't do the resolution. Go and just do the work. And what would be your overall message?
Movement is medicine. If you can move, and whatever that looks like, walking, crawling, just move, and your body will fix itself. Movement is medicine.
So you can be sitting in a chair. You do leg lifts.
Yeah, if that is your ability, then that is your ability. My dad had a lazy boy, and we got these little foot pedals, and he used to ride his bike and his lazy boy to keep his legs moving. Right. That's where he was at later in life, and that's what we did.
Okay. All right. So anything is a good movement.
Any movement's good movement.
Any movement's good movement. All right. Well, Ralph, I can't thank you enough for coming in and sharing your expertise. And again, if you have any questions, give them a call. Send them an email. You can. Where can I get an email to you? Or Facebook would be easier.
Facebook, Instagram at Cinna Blue Wave or Cinna Wellness. Sorry, we got away from the Blue Wave tag. We are now Cinna Wellness and Strength.
All right, so Cinna Wellness and Strength. If you're looking to send a Facebook message, Ralph will get it. He'll get back to you. Or if you just want to stop by, either Cinna in Follinsby or the Cambridge Wellness Co-op out in Cambridge. Or if you want to get a coffee over at The Grind, they make good ones. And this, I guess, is probably as healthy as, or as maybe not as healthy, but maybe as bad as you're going to let me get on coffee.
We're in the 20%.
Okay.
We're in the 20%.
All right.
We're not in the 80% what we want, but we're in the 20%. That's fine.
Okay. All right.
We just got to know where we're at.
All right. But it's good. Jordan, one of the coffee was good. A new flavor. Yeah. What was it again?
English toffee hazelnut.
I bet you it goes good with Oreos. Just saying. I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
You know what really goes well with is grandpa get-ups.
Oh yeah. I got a feeling next time in the gym I'm gonna have about 100 again.
Easily.
Okay. All right. That's what we do. All right. Again, Ralph, can't thank you enough for coming in. Greatly appreciate it. Ralph Petrella, everybody, with his expertise on training, nutrition, and keeping your resolution. Or maybe don't make it a resolution. Just make it a movement. Make it a day to get up and walk for 10 minutes, 15 minutes, and just try and add that in 2 or 3 times a day. It can really make a difference. Jordan, as always, wonderful. Thank you. And thank you to Valley Converting, I should say. Valley Converting with Mike and everybody up there in the T-Town Gem City of Toronto. Until next time, everybody. Ralph, you know the 2 rules.
2 rules. Do your best. Have fun.
Have fun and try your best every time. There you go. Have a great day, everybody. We'll see you next time. We'll see you tomorrow. We'll talk some college football playoffs. We'll talk some NFL playoffs, whatever we want to talk about. Bring your topics. We'll talk about them.